So, it's no secret that the PS5 was properly announced and properly revealed last week, as of recording this video at least. And there have been a lot of talks about whether it was properly done, whether it was not, the games that were revealed, whether they were good or not, the console itself, the speculation surrounding it. We're going to be getting into that in this video, about some of the games that were announced, my opinions about most generally about how they announced everything, the console itself, and we'll get into that in just now. So stick around, see what I have to say. So we'll start off with the console itself. Specs of it were released previously before the last week's stream. And the general consensus with the new gen is they were trying to be on par with PC, because generally speaking you can't get a consistent 60 FPS video or a game on console, whether, no matter how powerful the console has been, we've never been able to get a consistent 60 FPS video. That being said, on PC, it's very common to get 60 FPS if your PC isn't shit. If those of you who don't know what FPS is, in this case it stands for frames per second. The higher the number, the smoother the video is. The lower the number, the more choppy the video is. Now, that being said, I think this is going to be a big leap. From a technical standpoint, like this console, this console generation, not just the PS5, is going to be a bigger leap. But still, I don't think it's going to be on par with PC. But that's just me. We'll see what happens when the consoles are released. The controller was revealed as well. They removed the big lamp at the back of it, which they had on the back of the PS4, which is fucking... I don't know who over at PlayStation was like, yeah, let's add a lamp at the back of the controller, which just sucks away the battery life. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but they did. And now they they kind of removed it. They still have this backlight on the controller, because they decided to not remove the mouse pad in the middle of the fucking controller, which no one used on the PS4. No game was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make good use of that. No game did that. Absolutely none. And those who did are unnotable. But generally speaking, those who used the mouse pad kind of just, because they removed the select button, so they just kind of replaced the select button with that. But other than that, completely useless, but they decided to keep it. The triggers will still activate if you leave your controller on the couch. Xbox never had that, but no. Look, Xbox have the better controllers. This isn't a conversation to be had. Now, the games that were revealed, they revealed more games than I expected. Some of which I was surprised to be announced. Some of which I couldn't care about at all. I tried, I couldn't. And some of which I found disappointing, but there have been a few that made me go, I want this now, take all my money. Now, the more notable of the games which I was excited for, not the most excited for, I was pretty excited for, was Spider-Man Miles Morales. Why is it notable? Well, because Sony don't know what it is. I'm not making this up. Sony did not know what the game was. They tweeted that it was an expansion for the Spider-Man remaster on PS5. An expansion. After people lost their minds, including me, Insomniac, after hours and hours, tweeted, they're like, oh, no, that's not, no, Sony, no, that's not what the game is. Spider-Man Miles Morales is a standalone game, kind of like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Far Cry Until Dawn, New Dawn. Until Dawn is another game. It's a salad of a game, as Godzilla Mendoza once said. It's a salad of a game, kind of like we had Arkham Origins to just feed off the fans until they got Arkham Knight, and how we like it's not an uncommon thing to do, to give a filler game until you get the main game which you're waiting for. And I'm glad that they did that, because I thought this was going to be the sequel to Spider-Man, and I was really worried because Spider-Man PS4 was released 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago yet. In September it'll be released 2 years ago. So I was worried that they were going to pull off the sequel, but it turns out it's just a standalone to feed off the fans, which I'm fine with. Ratchet & Clank was announced. I'm really fucking excited. I love Ratchet & Clank. The game looks very fucking good. Godfall, couldn't give two shits about it. There was a new Horizon game that was announced. Didn't really care for it. There was Deathloop, which seemed extremely interesting. I'm totally on board with Deathloop. Stray, Bugsnax, tons and tons and tons of games were announced in that stream, which I'm very excited for. But I'm not going to get into that individually. That would take me too long. Long story short, PlayStation have a good set of exclusives. Definitely going to be better than Xbox's exclusives, but that's always the case. Nothing surprising there. So, generally speaking, it wasn't a bad reveal. They could have done worse, but they didn't. So that's always a good thing to do. So there you have it. That was the PS5. That was the PS5 in a nutshell. I mean, it's a console as usual. We'll see how it goes. Yes, they are pushing the hardware more with this generation, trying to reach PC level hardware, which isn't entirely impossible. But 60 FPS consistently running at a good resolution, I don't see that happening right now at the very least. So I don't know, we're just gonna have to see what happens with it. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're enjoying my content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, stay safe. Peace.